Oh my, look at that! Who's back after vanishing for a week or so? We're back into the business with a long, black, curving necked creature known as the Sauroposeidon. These massive 50-ton behemoths spawn within the beaches, plains, savanna, and jungle. And yes, they will pop up out of nowhere, so be careful. And they will also spawn within one or within the pair. Pair is rather rare, but one is the most common, just like you. Now, next question. As any sane Minecraft player is going to ask, is it useful or useless? Like who cares? Who cares about the design of the mob? No one admires the details because it is absolutely psychopathic behavior to admire something that Mojang had, neither the modder had, and go straight to the usefulness. But fortunately and unfortunately for some of you, it is an ambient creature. Yes, an ambient creature that can absolutely violate the Master Bonnet 300 Nigga edition, also known as the Wither in 30 different language. So you can say it is rather strong with a behemoth amount of health reaching up to 12,500 health. This is no joke. Now, fortunately, you do not need to kill this guy for your reward, as just by leaving it in your property, it will take massive dumps after, more massive dump after going on the Taco Bells. You can pick that seed right off the ground and throw it back into the ground to act as bone meal, or throw them into compost bin to denitrify them into actual bone meal. Who knows, maybe you need some blocks, bone blocks, but this is not as psychopathic behavior as turning them into brown dye. But who cares, I made the feature into turning them into brown dye, and I also added a feature for you to bone every single organic thing into the game into a bone meal, so you can actually enjoy your bone. So you don't have to bone any other skeletons for their bones, and do not have to fear about getting boned by all those boners. Anyways, after this, there is the second part, the violent part. If you manage to kill one, you will be gifted a rather ungodly amount of meat, and arguably, it is the most fatty meat in the entire game. But who cares about the stage 5 diabetes if it even exists? So yeah, perfectly healthy meat. Single sulfur kill will be actually able to give you enough supply of meat to make the behemoth meat into your primary food source. And by primary food source, by you mean entire 100% of your food. Yeah, absurdly high. Absolutely not. Completely balanced diet, as everything should be. Now the next point is the enragement. So you have ordered like how are you supposed to kill that thing? And of course, it is not clearly about going on head on and poking it in a ball, or is it? Because an enraged Sauroposeidon can actually flat out an entire village worth of space. And how do you get this guy to enrage? Well, guess what? Of course, poking them in the balls. The more you poke them, the more enraged they will become, and the more enraged they will become, the more 2D your body will become, which is completely detrimental for your mental and physical well-being. So that being said, they are rather weak to fall damage. 6 blocks fall, Sauroposeidon are crippled. 8 blocks fall, that Sauroposeidon all implodes. So anyways, that's it. And just like that, the end of the video is near here. And before we disappear, like the giant sauropods after the Sauroposeidon goes extinct and reappear the next week or the next month like the Alamosaurus that reappeared after few million years later, I want to say something. Please subscribe the channel because if you don't, then a green creature will emerge out of the darkness, knock on your doorsteps, and ask you to do Spanish lesson. Regardless if you do or do not do, it will take your family away anyways. So subscribe because you know right. The thing that more dangerous than the giant 50-ton behemoth that can absolutely pulverize withers is, of course, a green creature. A rather greenish creature. Anyways, see ya later in the next week. Maybe the next week after the next week. Maybe after the next month. Like, who cares? I'll be back.